Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. This is episode 329. Woof, we're on our luxury extended hidey hole. The extended cab hidey hole. I hear a bunch of footsteps and splooshing in water. I'm a little bit concerned it might be a zombie and or a creeper, but we're going to take our chances, break out, and run away like the brave folks we are. It's probably just cows. Just those cows over there. Cows. Ah, that cow over there in particular. Particular? Ain't particular. Alright, let's grab Wolfie. Let's, I got some cobble to get rid of. I think we're alright to continue on in this, like I said, episode 329 of Far Lands or Busts. It is Wednesday, February 19th, 2014, and today is one of those days, just one of those days that everything's coming up Millhouse. And by that, I mean no, nothing is working. Everything's broken. Just the world has stopped doing what it normally does, and it's just collapsing around me. The walls are crumbling, although not literally, because I could see where there could be confusion with the walls literally crumbling, because I did have a leakage problem in the ceiling. The ice dams were causing from the previous episode, the drippage on the entryway. Overnight, it continued. I had drilled 5 holes or so along the bottom edge of where it was dripping, and at points it was streaming water out of there, which is always a good sign. So I had buckets upon buckets and other such containers and those big Rubbermaid containers, because who has a bucket? Who keeps stock of buckets in their homes, really? So that happened overnight, and then yesterday was Tuesday. Today's Wednesday, and after another 4 inches of snow or whatever we got on Monday, yesterday was 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which is above freezing. So I don't know, what is that in Celsius? 5 degrees or 10 maybe? No, maybe not even 10. I don't know. The conversion rate, I don't know it. So everything was melting, and you know what that means? More liquid coming through the ceiling. It reached quite the fervor pitch, and more holes were drilled. And I'm not just like going crazy and drilling holes into the drywall wherever, but they say if you do have a leakage issue and you can't, those pigs were completely dry, Wolfie. Those were not productive pigs at all. I'm going the wrong way. That you should poke or drill holes in the ceiling if you can't stop the source of the leak, which I couldn't because like I was saying, I can't get up to the top of the roof. I don't even own the roof of this place. It is not in my jurisdiction to drill holes to relieve the stress and weight of the water. Otherwise, the whole ceiling would collapse. So did that. So that's the reason why I was drilling holes. So that was fun. And then, like I said, it was localized to my front entryway, the foyer, if you will, if that's what you want to call like the entryway. There's no carpet there. It's kind of a mud room, also known as, AKA. So that was okay. I'm like, if it's gonna be dripping, that's the fine place. But no, it was not. It was not limited to that, because I was actually just about to go to the grocery store and buy some groceries, because I'm running out of food in the house. And I don't know why, something told me I came into my office to check emails or Twitter or something one more time, and lo and behold, drips of water emanating from my office ceiling. I have a weird thing about where I live is the vents, the central air conditioning and heating vents are in the ceiling, actually, which probably exacerbates the problem of the unevenly melting snow and bad circulation in the attic area, causing such things as this. But coming through there, not a lot, not streams like I had in the front area, but I'm like, well, there goes my day. I have to rescue my computers and all the stuff on the ground, and I'm a little bit afraid that it was dripping on or into my racing wheel, which I put down next to the wall there. So that was fun, and at that point I ended up taking matters into my own hands, and outside my window I started poking with a stick the ice dam and got a sizable chunk of it to fall down and thankfully not kill anybody down below, because it was like 40 pounds of ice, and did that and blah 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 blah. Anyway, long story short, the association is an association, so they're dragging their feet. So we'll have somebody out to break up the ice and the snow on the roof. But I have not seen a person, no people, and so that's, I hope it's not going to be a problem when it comes time to fix and or replace the ceiling drywall in my place, because I can just imagine that's what happens. These associations, I don't know, association for those, I guess, younger or those who don't know, is when you have a place, usually like a townhouse or a condo in my situation, and sometimes even houses now have home associations. Your basic subdivision, your set neighborhood will be under control of an association who handles things like mowing the lawn, since you don't own the building you're in, you just own the walls that you're residing in, the unit you're in. The association pays to have the maintenance people clean or do the lawns and the landscaping, and then during the winter to shovel the drives, and they handle the exterior business, the roofing. If the roofing needs to get replaced, they do that. Blah 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 blah. Generally known as not being too helpful, but it's hard to avoid when such a small place like a condo. Oh God, hello, are we here? Hi, I just had my screen go black. Everything's going wrong today. I hope that didn't break up the recording. I think maybe, oh God, okay, anyway, long story short, blah, 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 blah. You pay money to the association every month on top of whatever you're paying to live in the home or condo or townhouse or whatever, so that they could take care of those things. And it's a lot of money, but then when there are problems, of course, they don't want to spend money to fix your problems. So I hope that I don't have to put up a fight to say, hey, this was an outside problem that invaded the inside space, so it's your duty to fix such things as these. So I hope there's not, because I hate being confrontational. I can't. It's just not in my nature. It's not good, because that allows people to potentially walk over me and take advantage of situations like this, but I hope it's not a problem. But anyway, let's get to the next problem. Complaining time with KurtJMac. I've been recording the last couple episodes with DX Story. I made a little bit of a mention of that earlier. Today, suddenly, DX Story, nope, not working. Just crashes every time I launch it. From the error logs, it's something to do with the .NET framework. Potentially, I don't know, that's just what the error log is telling me. So I tried to fix that. I reinstalled the .NET thing, and there was, to the specific problem error, there was a Microsoft hotfix that I downloaded and tried, and nope, didn't work. I uninstalled DX Story and reinstalled that, and I don't know. I don't know. I made sure I uninstalled some late last week. There were some Windows updates that changed the .NET thing, and I uninstalled those and tried that, and blah 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 blah. Anyway, I've been here trying to get this episode recorded for the past couple hours, so I reverted back. As I said, I'm still keeping Fraps. Fraps is a very sturdy little woof. Yeah, I know. Stand by. Like I said, I've never had a problem, really, with Fraps. Any problems I've had were due to inexperience or improper setting up or recording practices by me where, like, the audio would get out of sync, or very early on, if you watch a lot of my early videos, say from 2011, you'll notice there's, like, random black screens. That was just a problem with my rendering, and I didn't know what I was doing when I was rendering videos, but that has since been resolved. Random stuff like that. But yeah, back on Fraps. So recording in a separate program my microphone audio and noticing I'm not talking loud enough by looking over at it. But yeah, that was going wrong. Other things went wrong too. I can't remember. And yeah, like I said, with all this stuff, I can't go. It could be worse. It could be worse. There could be a lot more terrible things happening to me, etc., etc. But this is my universe. These are the problems that are taking place in my timeline of the day. So they are what affect me literally right at this moment. So like I've said, this Far Lands or Bust is a little bit of a vloggy, a little bit of a podcasty, personal journal type of talky video game thingamabob. So you guys get to hear that too. But hopefully in the next few days here in Minecraft, we will have better news. And let's just go to sleep. And awakeness. I really shouldn't. Yeah, no, I shouldn't push my luck by staying up so late, because if any day is going to be a bad day, it is going to be today, and I don't want my first Far Lands or Bust death to take place once all these other things are happening. I should update, the dripping has stopped, mostly because most all of the snow, it's another, upper 30s, above freezing day here today. Things are melting, so I think the ice dams themselves have been resolved, but that doesn't mean that the problem is resolved. I'm very much anticipating the next snow, which is happening this weekend. We're getting a little bit of a warm-up, where things are kind of going to melt, and then we're anticipating a bunch of rain, then freezing rain, and then snow. Just good times all around. So yeah, I still do, however, over my shoulder have a bucket where the leak was happening, and I took out my window screen so that I could reach out and try to knock the ice loose, and that was probably ill-advised, and my vent thing is taken off, and it's damp up there, and I can only imagine if those are just the places where the moisture made it all the way through the ceiling for me to see it. What else is going on up there? Bunch of problems, and gotta worry about mold and mildew and ugh. Unfit for human occupants is what this place is going to become. But really, no, I've never had a problem. I've never had a problem with this place. I've counted myself very lucky. I think very early on I had to replace the garage door spring because it broke. But that's the only, I didn't have to replace any appliances or water heaters or air conditioners or furnace problems or, nothing like that. I had to replace the... what the heck is that thing called under the sink? The garbage disposal. Yeah, little random stuff like that. But otherwise, I count myself quite lucky, aside from the massive amounts of money I'm putting towards an association who doesn't help when you actually need them. But let's talk about other things. I've got a bunch of questions here. I wanted to mention... Yeah, I hope. Blah! I didn't mention the Child's Play charity. That's a good thing that continues to happen. But today, a bad thing. Not a bad thing, but just a little hiccup in the road. The donation, you might notice if you go to farlandsorbust.com, it might be resolved by now, but when you go to farlandsorbust.com, the donation widget isn't loading, and that's because their whole donation tracker, everything is down at the moment. I'm just getting a 404 error. Their website's still up, but just the donation system is down, so I can't check what the current status is, and I couldn't check. I saw, it might have even happened before the last episode went up, where I said, we can get to 170,000. I saw that we had reached 170,000 and then some, but now I didn't check who did that at the time. I was going to check, as I do before I record this episode, and now I can't check that. So I have no idea what we're at in terms of the number. It's over 170,000, so thank you very much, those people who donated. I will mention the person once I go back and verify on the list of donors who was the one who got us over 170,000, and I will answer their question. So yeah, that was the other thing. I knew there was another thing. That's not like a huge deal. Unless, there's a real problem and they lost all the data. But I'm not saying that's what happened. We're gonna, hopefully it just gets back up momentarily. But yeah, that was the other thing that was just off today. But computer problems are frustrating. Hardware problems I can fix. Oh, I don't know if I ever mentioned, I did get the new memory. I got, if I need to recommend any memory, I would recommend Kingston. Kingston? Is that who I have? Hold on, I gotta look at the box over there. I want to make sure I'm... No. Corsair, I apologize. Kingston stinks. No, Corsair memory. I would recommend them because they have a lifetime warranty, and I basically filled out a form. Woof, I know. I said, yeah, I got errors on these specific sticks in the memory test program. And they have a program where you can actually, they'll ship you out replacements before you even ship the old ones back. So I did that. So now I've actually, this happened like last month. I've been back up to 16 gigs of RAM this entire time, and it was just for the price of shipping the sticks back, which is much better than the $100 that the set was going for or whatever. Earlier, or right now, which I'm surprised by. You know, I built this computer 2 years ago. Apparently, memory technology hasn't gone beyond DDR3 and what I have, so it's still at its like peak price, I believe. But yeah, the memory's back up and running. So yeah, hardware problems are replace a hard drive, whatever. Recover data from a hard drive. I got programs for that. Replace that. Blah blah blah. Whatever, I'm fine with that. It's software problems that are a little bit more obscure to me, and trying to sift through the event viewer in Windows and figure things out and blah, 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 blah. And don't go saying, oh, could have got a Mac, blah, blah, blah. No. As a gamer, not really. And also, if I had a Mac, I would have had to, like, buy that hotfix, or you have to buy every patch update, because now it's Snow Leopard and Tiger version updates, incremental update, and that'll be $100, please. Or Ocelot, Tabby Cat, whatever all the little updates are, they always, ooh, careful. Oh. That's probably a bad idea. I was going to jump down there. All right, anyway, we're going to do the jungle thing and just chop through the foliage, the undergrowth. But yeah, anyway, for the next episode, I will have an update on the Child's Play charity totals, and it gets me a little bit nervous, because I hope such a thing doesn't happen during Flopathon, which, yes, there were some questions in the comments of the last video about when Flopathon is. Somebody misinterpreted and said it's on the 6th, March 6th. That is the anniversary of Far Lands or Bust in my YouTube adventure. The first episode of Far Lands or Bust was March 6th, 2011. But that is not when Flopathon. That's like a Wednesday or something. Flopathon is March 1st. Saturday, March 1st. 2014. And so that's when that's happening. And I wanted to mention, I know 2012 Flopathon, I did a 3-day thing where the total live streaming was 24 hours. What did I do? Like 8 hours a day. Reining it back a little bit this year. I believe it's just the 1 day. March 1st Flopathon is what I'm going to do. Maybe like the original Flopathon, 8 hours, 20 minutes. Maybe I'll go for 10 or 12 hours to make it seem more like a marathon, I can't physically do 24 hours. That's not possible for my brain or my body. And so yeah, we're going to do that. And we're going to raise money. And it's kind of because I know you guys have waited so long for me to press F3 that I don't want to extend it any further. Like, well, you guys, I'm going to start Flopathon, but you'll have to wait 3 more days to actually listen or see what the F3 number is. Whoop. Also, like I said, my own physical capacity is not... Wow, look at how far off the box selection is. Sorry. Distracted. My own live streaming capacity is not quite that up to par to do that. So yeah, we're going to keep it March 1st. I don't know if I'm going to be doing anything too crazy. Definitely not like Mindcrack Marathon. There's not going to be any fan server. There's not going to be any raffles or big prizes or anything like that. I mean, I'll have some fun. Maybe I'll get some. I have some Steam games I can give away that are just kind of random and not really too crazy, and other gift games that different developers have given me. Minecraft, I'm sure I'll grab some copies of Minecraft to give away. I'll have to set up, it might do some sort of guessing game, like guess what the F3 number is going to be, and the closest person wins a copy of Minecraft, or something like that, but nothing too major. Just keeping things low-key. Wolfie agrees. You know, it's about Farlands or bust. It's just we're going to keep walking, and it's about the F3 moment. Careful, Wolfie. Oh, careful, Wolfie! Don't be pushing me down, you noodle. Yeah, you. Okay, that was my fault. Careful. Oh, navigate. Very nice. Okay, that was well executed, good sir. That was probably the best cliff jump I've ever seen you do without taking damage. Well done. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that about Flobathon. I don't want to oversell the thing, but then again, it's kind of a cool deal to be doing this for 3 years, but then also all the renewed support and attention, and of course the big F3 moment is what it's all about. So look forward to that. And I do have a few questions. Gosh, I feel this is one of those scatterbrained episodes. I apologize. Maybe not the topics that you want to be hearing about, but some venting took place. Talked a little bit about Flobathon. I just mushed like 7 words together into one syllable right there. So we're gonna get some rest and continue on in the morning. And awakeness. Spelunk. Indeed. So, from donors, these are questions I got before the system went down. The system is down. Old internet reference. From Elzanko. Bah, to you too, sir. Yoink. Elzanko asks, have you ever done an episode of Farlands or Bust with the 3D turned on? Would you ever consider doing it? Maybe just for part of an episode? Of course, that is in reference to my character wears 3D glasses. It is a variation. Well, it is the Doctor Who, the 10th Doctor skin. In one episode, he uses 3D glasses as like a... What does he see? The particles of the time vortex or something like that. I don't remember precisely, but it's kind of become a theme on my channel, and you'll even maybe notice I've added... YouTube is putting in the upper right-hand corner little, you know, like when you're watching TV and you get the little NBC logo in the bottom right corner, or whatever, Comedy Central, you know, whatever the channel logo is. They're starting to do that, so I don't have a channel logo other than the Farlands or Bust thing, but that's a little bit too complicated, so I just have little 3D glasses, so you might notice at the beginning of all my videos now, for about 30 seconds, there's little 3D glasses hovering in the upper right-hand corner, and if you hover over it, it allows you to subscribe right away to the KurtJMac channel. But yeah, anyway, the 3D glasses are a thing. They're a thing! And so they asked, would I ever do an episode? Yes! I have! And I would! And I did! If you look back, speaking of milestones, episode 100 of Farlands or Bust was a little bit of a milestone, so I decided to have fun and for the entire episode play with the anaglyphic, or whatever it's called, 3D settings. I could actually, still recording in the options. A lot of people don't know about this, but the 3D anaglyph, you turn that on, warning, it's turning on for those of you who don't like it. And with the red and cyan glasses, things turn 3D. It's not that great, to be honest. In the few times I have used it, It's an interesting little thing, and the current versions of the game still have that, don't they? It's just something Notch put in, I think, as an afterthought, and really never thought of it actually being a fleshed out feature, and it certainly isn't. It hasn't changed since then. So yeah, I did for episode 100, and I did it for a part of an episode with some fancy pants editing. I basically just cut out that part where I went into the options menu and made no mention of it, but for a single day of Far Lands or Bust during an April Fool's episode, where I was also intentionally walking in the wrong direction, turned that on, just as a little bit of a joke. So yeah, I have done that, but and I know a lot of people, instead of watching, certainly not the majority, but a lot of people, instead of watching Far Lands or Bust, will just listen to it as a podcast type thing. So yeah, I've done that, but I don't, it's kind of, I've made the joke, so I'm kind of moving on. So yeah, if you do want to look back at episode 100, that's when I did that, and it was soon after I actually added the 3D glasses to Wolfie, or they got added with the texture pack from Omnizod. No, not Omnizod. Omnizod made the skin. Axis 1 made the texture pack. So I was making note of that. So yeah, thank you for that donation in question. An anonymous donor asked, spoilers, have you ever taken interest in model rocketry? Yes, although I've never owned or personally had model rockets. I believe my only up-close and personal experience was probably for a science class. In elementary school, we might have done something with model rockets. I want to say so because I remember ours, we lit it off in like the soccer field, and ours went up, and then the parachute popped out, and it floated far away, and we had to run very far to recover our rocket. And it's, yeah, I've just never gotten into it, and I used to go to a hobby shop a lot because I was into, speaking of hobbies, into model trains. I had a model train set in my basement for a while, so I would go to the hobby shop a lot, and the hobby shop always had model rockets and little rocket motors and whatnot, but I never got into them. I don't know, it's kind of, I'm not sure. It's one of those things that's like, you set it off, it's like, okay. I know there's like hardcore, like, people make model rockets that are bigger than you or me, and they're very powerful, and they have to get like FAA clearance, and they have special events where they launch them off and things like that. I know that's a big deal, but never anything like that. I don't know. Maybe I know that from the SpaceX store, the SpaceX website has a store where you can buy like shirts that have the SpaceX logo and things on them. They have a model rocket version of the Falcon 9 with the Dragon capsule. Ooh. With the Dragon capsule atop it, which is always kind of funny, but gosh, all the boats we're using today. But no, never beyond that. I don't know, perhaps, I don't know, maybe as kind of a self-serving gift to my little nephew Goober, who is 7 years old, I should get him a model rocket and then be like, I'll help you launch it. But it's really for me. So no, I don't know. Maybe not. I have no idea. But anyway, thank you for that question. From Griffin Stars, she asks, do you still plan on traveling through the Never and the Nether as a means of cutting distance to the Far Lands? Also, do you have an opinion? Oh, that's the second part of the question. Different question. She might be watching my earlier episodes. I know in my earlier episodes, when things were just starting and I really had no idea how far away the Far Lands were and how much time this would be taking, this is very early on, even before I had Wolfie and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll do the Nether for a while to see how that works. Because when you travel, for those who don't know, when you travel through the Nether, you take one step or one block in the Nether equals actually 8 in the overworld here. So it technically gets you there faster. There is also a Far Lands in the Nether. However, it doesn't get closer 8 times faster, you still have to travel 12,500,000 blah 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 blocks in the Nether to get to the far lands in the Nether. It's the same math breakdown that happens in the Nether. It's just you'd have to travel in the Nether and then pop back out in the overworld, and then you would have multiplied your coordinates by 8. And yeah, early on I said that, but I have ruled that out completely. Speaking also of ooh, is that no? That's gravel. Never mind. Continuing on. Speaking of milestones, for episode 200, I went to the Nether for the first time in this world, and that's where I got netherrack and these glowstone, which I'm going to place atop as a beacon, as a lighthouse, as a thing atop the F3 monument when I press F3 on March 1st. And I got that as kind of a little 200th episode special. So yeah, I went to the Nether, but I left the same portal I went into, so I didn't actually travel any in the Nether. So that's the only time I've been to the Nether. It's too dangerous. It would, even if it wasn't dangerous, say I put it on peaceful or something, it's boring, because it's just the Nether over and over and over again. I can't sleep, so there's no real easy way to section off parts of the episode and ending the episode like I do in the hidey hole. Also, we would have to leave Wolfie behind. Mobs and wolves can't travel through Nether portals. And also, it's not about getting there faster. It's about the journey, not the destination. So I really like the experiencing the terrain generation. Like I said, the other character in this series is Minecraft's beta 173 terrain generation. A lot of nostalgia and nostalgic memories occurring when we walk through here. These, having snow biomes butt right up next to sand desert biomes, and these kind of strange plains, and there's none of those. Normally in plains now in the current version of the game, there's all this grass in the way. This is a little bit of a stark Tony Stark contrasting kind of landscape here. So yeah, no, I'm not. I've said it. I've declared such things. Not going to the Nether. Not taking the Nether. This is an overworld adventure. The other question, which I don't really have much of an answer to, so I'll just not answer it, is do you have an opinion about string theory? If so, what is it? I don't have an opinion because I am not a scientist or a physicist. It's one of the models to the beginning of and what makes up matter in the universe. I don't know that much about it. It seems complicated. So it's kind of one of those things that's like, okay, if this is what the scientific community as a whole has agreed through peer-reviewed research, research and theory and math, it adds up with the math, I guess, and it makes sense. So sure, I don't know that I need to express an opinion on it. I suppose, I don't know, maybe I should try to parse the Wikipedia page to see if it makes any more sense to me. And maybe I'll get back to you on that. But yeah, makes sense if it leads to the Big Bang or whatever, and if it explains things, and if that's a mutually agreed upon system by which everything has come to be, then so be it. Indeed. But yeah, we survived. We survived this episode. Things didn't go horribly wrong. Wait until I log off and find that Fraps didn't record anything. But yeah, thank you very much for dealing with my kind of ranty, complainy beginning to this episode. Thank you very much for watching. Like I said, if the Child's Play charity donation button on farlandsbus.com is not up yet, please be patient and check back if you do mean to donate. That's hopefully just a little temporary problem that Child's Play charity is having. So looking forward to having that fixed and seeing who gave that 170,000. Well, they didn't give 170,000. They gave the amount that got us over 170,000 total. And getting more questions on this list and answering them and having fun in Farlands or Busts. Only 4 more episodes to go before March 1st and Flobathon, so no pressure. Dang, I like set this date over a month ago and I'm like, that's plenty of time. But then February is a really short month and it just snuck up on me. So gotta get prepared. No stress. Just the walls are caving in and dripping and everything around me and there's buckets on the floor. Just no stress. Serenity now. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time.